Welcome back to the Kyle Olson Show. Nick Adams is founder of the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness, or FLAG, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting and providing high-quality civics education that informs students and families about the greatness of America and the power of the American dream, something that we need more than ever, and we'll be talking about that shortly. He's also author of the new book, Trump and Churchill, Defenders of Western Civilization. So, Nick, it's July 4th, arguably, maybe with the exception of VE Day, the most important day in our history. But we're seeing that history being rewritten before our very eyes. What we're seeing play out in the streets of America was born from our classrooms, wasn't it?
Kyle, first off, it's a tremendous honor to be with you on the 4th of July. You're right. It is the most important day in my mind on the calendar. And it's always important to remember who we are and where we come from. And you are absolutely right. All of the problems that we're seeing right now all across America, I believe, have their origins, have their root in public school classrooms, not college campuses, not the family home, although those places also need significant improvement, but primarily in public schools, elementary schools, middle schools, and public high schools. And for that matter, I'll also add charter schools and private schools, perhaps not so much, but certainly I think all schools here, K to 12, have got a very, very big problem in that they are no longer passing on what it means to be an American, Kyle.
Why? Why aren't they doing that?
Well, they're not doing that, I think, Kyle, because, I think that they don't want America to be America. I don't think that they like America the way that it is. And I think the teachers and the unions and all of the players within the system that shape it before a student actually hears from a teacher, I think that all of those people are working actively against America in the sense that they've been indoctrinated to believe that America is something that it isn't. They truly believe that America is this really bad and really awful and really sinful country, and it's got so much to atone for, and it's not something we should celebrate. And it's incredible because all these people do is magnify America's deficiencies. And of course, America has deficiencies. It's like any human being. I mean, of course it's imperfect. Of course it's made mistakes. But at the end of the day, while magnifying our deficiencies, these people completely and totally, very conveniently ignore the plethora of greatness about America. And if you go back and have a look, Kyle, I mean, there's never been a country like the United States of America. There's never been a people like Americans. There's never been a culture like America. There are 4 ways that a nation is said to be exceptional: culturally, militarily, economically, and scientifically. And on each of those 4 measurements, in almost 5,000 years, with less than 5% of the world's population, America has dominated those 4 spheres: culture, military, science, the economy, to a point previously considered impossible. But none of that is taught to our children.
And so you take the example of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and you think about James Madison and Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and Benjamin Franklin and all of those men that were involved in, writing those documents, creating something completely different that the world has never seen before. And I'm willing to bet if you go into a government school today and you bring up those names, and again, you're seeing this play out in the streets of America today, what is the focus? They were slave owners. That's all kids know about those men. Tell me, what does your organization, the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness, what are you doing to combat this?
Well, Kyle, the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness has got 2 objectives. One is to teach civics, and 2 is to promote the American dream in public schools, increase patriotism in public schools. And we do it 3 ways. Number 1, through classroom visits. Number two, through the creation and distribution of kid-friendly resources relating to the founding documents. So we've got the Students' Constitution, the Students' Declaration of Independence, the Students' Federalist Papers, and the Citizens' Guide to the Electoral College. All of those are in plain, easy, simple to understand English that even a fifth grader can comprehend. And then the third part of what we do is we train teachers. We teach teachers how to teach civics the way that it used to be taught. So what we're doing is we're trying to make sure that every young American, Kyle, that they understand what makes this country great, that they understand the history of this country objectively, not some black armband view of American history where we only focus on the bad stuff. And what we're actively trying to combat through FLAG's work is this idea that America is a racist country. America is the least racist, multiracial country in the world. It is the most colorblind society in the world. And I can say that because I wasn't born here. I wasn't raised here. I've lived in different places all around the world. And I can tell you that Americans are the most uninterested and disinterested people in where somebody comes from. The whole American idea is we're not rooted by blood. We're not bonded by blood. We're not bonded by some kind of, our unity comes from our belief in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, Western values, Christian values, things like that. And this whole idea that this is a bad place, this is the best place in the world for a black person to live. That's why no black people ever leave America to go anywhere else. And it's why more than twice the number of black Africans who came here as slaves have come voluntarily as immigrants.
And you don't see a whole lot of, this is a point that some people make. You don't see a whole lot of rafts going south to Cuba. You see them heading north to America. To the parent and the grandparent and the teacher who's listening and they want to integrate your materials into their classrooms or, propose them to the school board or whatever, how can they do that?
Well, we invite them, Kyle, to visit our website, flagusa.org. That's flagusa.org. They can get some copies of our resources. They can request us to come and speak at a school or at some kind of gathering. The other website is nickadamsusa.com, nickadamsusa.com, or flagusa.org. And one of our dedicated staff will get back with the person immediately.
Well, I encourage everyone to do that because my work at EAG, we talked and wrote extensively about the breakdown of civics education and the just basic facts that kids don't know, and they're graduating high school, going into college, graduating college, not knowing basic information about our government and our history. And Nick Adams is doing something about it. So his organization, again, is the Foundation for Liberty and Greatness, American Greatness, or FLAG, and his website is flagusa.org. Nick Adams, thanks for joining me.
Kyle, it's always a pleasure.
This is the Kyle Olson Show. We'll be right back.